What's up, guys? Brandon here. We're going to take a look at tomorrow's morning watch list. Today is Wednesday the 7th. We'll be looking at Thursday morning the Ace Horse. So we're going to go to checking out the SPY. Today we had a huge run up, gap up off the 200, continuation through the 100 and the 50 EMA. The only resistance I see in the way, let's get this guy out of the way here. Obviously previous highs just for when we filled the 9 prior. It's about 281.13 area. This is what we're going to be coming into after hours here. This is going to be a major level, so depending on gap up or gap down from this level is going to dictate a lot of the plays coming up. On the 4 hour we're extended from pretty much everything, and we got to wait for the 9 to catch up. So to go even higher, I'd at least say we could test this level again before it comes back down, but that's all going to be dependent. We have easy gap fill movement room all the way up to 283.12 if it doesn't. So if it doesn't do that pullback. So we got first is Netflix. This is going to be the first watch that is going to be on my list. We have continuation here. It's very strong on the 4 hour. After that pickup and after hours, we had an amazing run on this thing today, and I had a couple of students actually pick this up on the third lower high right here and actually run it past resistance here after this para move and get up there. That was way better trade there. One of their trades toppled mine today, man. Props to you guys getting at least 10 points on this thing. But Netflix, as far as this goes, it looks like it has continuation yet. It could easily move up. We have major resistance coming up at like 335.30s, but if we can get that high, 335, we have the 200 EMA coming up, right? So right now it just looks like a bullish continuation on the 4 hour. I'm just going to see when the 9 comes up to the 100, which is usually not too big of a deal, and curl. Look for a pullback and rip, depending on the SPY gap, right? We'll go over a couple pos stocks today. And CGC, we had a really nice move late day here. She ran all the way to 47 after hours. This thing is getting a little extended. The 9's coming through all the EMAs here on the 4 hour, and the overlay 4 hour did break through and hold strength. So I'm going to look for a possible continuation. There's still a lot of shorts piled in here, and that last big short level was right there at that split on the 4 hour candle, right? You can see all these bottoms that have gotten bought up at that 45 level, 45 level, 45 level. And then if you look at after hours, CG here, you know, popped over to 47, pulled back down to about 46, and it continued. So really strong, depending on market gap up or down. CGC definitely continue. You could really get some shorts to panic on here. TLRI, we went over that in the recap. Big regret on the long play here. Didn't give it enough time on the back end here. Had a $112 entry, I think, on it. So hindsight's 20/20, but you don't let that FOMO get you, because you know missing 30 points is missing 30 points, right? So not always great in the book. But as far as TLR looks like on the daily, this thing looks like it has, come on TOS, this thing has popped over the 9, had a huge move. We got to start looking at next resistances though, right? It ran right into our previous candle before downtrend here, looking at about 144.44. Has a lot of resistance up here, so it's already interacted with our red wick here that had carried you know, good interaction points on the daily. So I think a pop to drop on TLRI, because this thing is a little bit more extended than CGC, so I think this thing would you know, with all these wicks acting as a lot of resistance and these buy ups here from 144 and under, depending on the market does, I think this thing has to have a relax move. If anything, that'll be on short watch. Definitely. Apple was a great trader today. We did a recap on that, had some trades there. Gonna go to the daily chart for this one. We do have major resistance coming up from this gap up here soon, just about 211.07, I'd say. So we surpassed the you know, broke through the 100 day on the daily. Coming up next major is going to be that 211. I think, you know, with the 9 approaching, we're going to have some interaction with that. If not, the next big wicks resistance is going to be at 212.25, right? So we're going to see what it does here first. 4 hour was looking still bullish off the line, but we got, of course, if you're looking at the 9 EMA on the daily, we're going to have the 50 coming up on the 4 hour. So resistance points are in check. If it pops over the 50 a little bit at the 211 and finds a lot of resistance and pulls back, I'd expect that. I'd like to see a ramp up with the market, hit the 9, have a pullback, and see where we're at from there. Does have room to the upside still. AMD I want to cover here just quickly. We just tapped the 100 EMA on the daily, right? And that's pretty much our resistance is going to match up pretty close to this pre-gap up right at 2230 level. Looking at the high of the day, 22 almost 30. Had a nice pullback, still showing a lot of strength, right? This wasn't that hard of a pullback. This thing, depending on gap up or gap down, I'd like to see AMD pull back, hold support at some of these 4-hour tops previous year in this $20 to 21 range. So if the market does pull back down, catches up with the 9 back here and find support, I'd still be into this for a long. Still have gap filling with that news dragging it up. It has not put in like some crazy pair upward move. It has been grinding pretty decently up here. So that's something to keep in mind on AMD. Amazon was a big one. This one's going to be on watch mainly for a pullback here. AMD all the way up to the 4-hour here. The 200 EMA is coming up real soon. We have you know, a giant pop and drop in the 50 that we caught that one time coming up here. We're just starting to come into that resistance here. Pushed pretty well into it. I don't think the 100 is that big of a deal on the daily coming up here. I think if it does push, we're going to find resistance a tad bit earlier. This 1763 area is going to be where I'm going to be watching for a hit and pullback, right? So on the daily, you know, highlighted the 9 here, we're getting up there. We're getting real past it. So I'd expect a little bit of relax if the SPY does give us some consolidation again where it's at right now. Man, yeah, the 50's gonna have to curl back up and defend against the 100 EMA here. So just watch that resistance here. This 281.17, 281.13, the area here, depending on the gap down here or gap up. I'd like to see a pullback. It'd be a lot healthier, right? We have this gap up and strong move. We could see it higher, but you know, if it does like snap upward, it might come back down. So, but we do have you know, tons of resistance coming up here. We have our level set, so you guys remember to take profits, you know, pretty early in this market. Everything is being real sporadic, elections and everything else coming around, so don't let the emotions and FOMO get the best of you when we get these big bounces. And that's why a lot of the times we're not doing a ton of swing trading here, because you know, when the SPY is putting in these moves on the 4-hour, just, you know, just nuts, just breaking through a ton of EMAs, doing whatever it wants to do, and then putting in like these candles right here. A lot of guys looking for like swing trades and stuff like that. It's not too applicable right now. There are some here and there, but they're just so, it's so risky. And a lot of you guys being account builders, I don't want you taking crazy, you know, risky swing trades. We're only looking for you know, potentials, and the only really potential here is if AMD continues on a long, strong bull trend here. You know, and holds the support on healthy pullbacks like we had here on this 4-hour candle. You know, broke VWAP, held over, higher low and continued. You could see exactly where it found support on the previous candle on Tuesday. You know, this is the only one looking real good, right? So if you know, we had a really nice long play in the morning, so if this thing pulls down and wants to continue higher, I would look for that. So if not, I'll see you guys bright and early in the morning. If this thing's a little choppier, if I'm starting off text a little bit different, I did a full upgrade today and changed my OS. Got the Windows 10 and the Windows 7 off here, and had to clean a lot of things up, and a lot of tools I was using, everything was lagging and giving me issues. Now she's flying. So if I'm a little bit sporadic or popping around here, I'm still getting used to different resolutions and different components and et cetera, et cetera. So we'll see you guys bright